Buddy the dog. What are you doing? Where are you running away? We go this way. Don't you know how this works? Well, I'm going this way. You can do whatever you want. We're not taking the pickup right now. Sure. Well, friends, this is I don't know what's all going to be in this video. It's going to be quite the collection of things. But I got some interesting stuff to show you, and we're going to start right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. That's Buddy the dog, who apparently he's operating on his own schedule today. He's doing his own thing. He's got very important work to do. But at any rate, I got a couple things here to show you. They're actually both in my hand. Let's find a more scenic spot here to show you. We'll use the 1020 shelf. That's what we'll use. So first thing I got a message the other day from a friend of mine who works at the place that owned the super cheap Super Duty. And he said, would you like this spare key to your pickup, or do you want me to destroy it? And I said, absolutely not. I said, I want that. So he got it to me, and that is sweet, because I went to the dealer after I got it running, and I wanted to get a spare key because I thought one of these days I'm going to accidentally lock it in or something, you know. And they said $75 to cut that key. And if you don't know, the key is not just a key, it's got like a computer deal in here, so it's got to be matched to your truck. So I thought, well, $75, that's not bad, I guess, you know, for a computer key. And then they're like, oh, it's another $75 to program it, and you have to schedule an appointment. We can't do it right now. And I said, well, just forget it. I said, I'll come back later. So I've kind of just been putting that off because I don't have time to run into town to get a key made. That's going to take over an hour. It's kind of ridiculous. So this was super cool when he found this. He was cleaning out, he works at that place, and I guess they were cleaning through all the keys and organizing and things, and then he found this key, and he thought, hey, I know the guy who owns the truck now. So sweet. We got a spare key for the super cheap Super Duty. That's good. Next thing, I got me a list here, or a letter here from a viewer, and it actually, I didn't expect this at all, and I didn't expect that this package was from YouTube because it came to my personal house here. It was actually when that mailman came in the video where we were working on the bucket for this, and he brought a package. And when I went up to the house, I thought, I don't remember ordering anything from Pennsylvania, but I got some stuff right here in my hand from viewer Jerry in Oil City, PA. And look what he sent to us, friends. Seat brackets for the 2020. He said, Ross, I have these straps for a John Deere 2020 seat laying here for years. I think you can use them. I've learned so much about the John Deere 1020 lately. I have Oliver's 1650 and 1555 plus 10 John Deeres, including a 1966 1020 gas. The picture at the bottom is from my front porch. The pictures on the back are just some random tractor pics. P.S. My wife refers to you as much more better and even uses the phrase frequently. So that is pretty cool. Here's the picture from his front porch. That's quite a very scenic view. I like that. That's obviously from warmer times this summer, but that's some pretty scenery right there. And we'll take a look at his tractor pictures here. We've got, I don't know if that's the 1020 maybe. I can't tell from the picture, looks like it. And there's a 2020 or 2030. I guess that's a 2030. They had a different grill emblem later on. And then there's probably the 1555 and a 520. 520 is like the replacement size for a B, and I think they're cute little tractors. And then he's got a newer front wheel assist and a, I don't know what that is, 4030 maybe or something. And yeah, so that's pretty sweet. But I am just overjoyed here. I looked all over for those brackets, and then I looked on the internet to try to find used ones, and I just could not find anything. They were all picked over and gone. So thank you very much, viewer Jerry, for thinking of me and for sending them, because I'm sure that wasn't cheap to put them in the mail, but that's just what we need. So I'll show you. From just before we do anything, I'll hold them up there so you can see what I'm talking about, in case somebody doesn't understand what the importance of this is. So I put this new seat on, you see, but I didn't have the brackets that go from here to there, and I might have them upside down. It might go this way. Is it this way? I can't really see what I'm doing here, but somewhere or another, those actually go on there, and they're mirror imaged to each other. So you got 2 holes closer together and 2 holes farther apart. So yeah, the farther apart ones go underneath, and yeah, they go in there like that. And then you got yourself a seat that won't break, because I tell you, I've already been catching myself leaning on the armrest to get on and off, and one of these times I'm gonna have this totally destroyed. So I got to put these brackets on, and I'm glad that he found these and thought of me. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna clean these up and paint them. I'll probably just paint them green, and then they can be drying, and maybe later in this video, like 24 hours from now, I can throw in us putting them on the tractor. But I'm gonna clean these up right now, and then what else do we have to do? We got lots of stuff we can do. We need to feed, and there's a new wrinkle in that. The other day, when I went to feed, I got nothing. Click, that's it. And so I thought, great, now what? And finally what I had to do is start hitting on the starter with a hammer, and it's of course down behind this loader brace on the other side of the tractor, so it wasn't easy to do. And finally, after doing that and trying about 50 times, it finally started. And so I thought, okay, I'll go in the house. I ordered a gear reduction starter for it. I had almost did that back when we were messing with the other stuff on it and the seat. I almost ordered one, and then I thought, I'll wait, you know. But now is the time. So whenever that gets here, we're going to put that on, and then we're going to take the other one and have it rebuilt, so I have an extra. I try to have an extra for everything I got, so I don't run into the situation that I'm in right now, which is we're going to be hammering on this starter again to see if we can get it to start so we can feed with it. Otherwise, we got to use the other tractor and then put the spear on and then fight through the mud and everything else. So yeah, so for now, what I'm going to do is work on these real quick and then hang them up someplace, and then we will put these on later on. All right, we'll let those hang and dry, and then hopefully tomorrow they'll be ready to go. Now we're gonna have to start this procedure of sadness, which is going to mean I'm gonna have to get to the other side of it probably, unless something would happen and it would just want to start. Will you? Oh! Sweet! Let's keep it running at all costs. Maybe it just didn't like the cold. It's a lot warmer today than it was. Well, that's awesome. I thought we'd be in for a struggle. Be a good thing to take with us if we're gonna go feed? A hay bale. I forgot I used all the ones over there. I gotta use the ones behind me. Alright, what I did the other day, oh, that's a bummer. It totally flipped over. The other day I dropped a bale and then I went back and got the second one so that they're both up here when I open the gate and I don't have to. There we go. It's not the first time I've flipped one. But anyway, I will get the other one up here and then take them out to them so they don't run away in the meantime. Well, I accomplished that task. I can't believe it started right away. Of course, now that we've given it so much love, it's just naturally going to follow that something is going to go wrong with it. And I can see that already, that loader cylinder is leaking now. So I guess this summer we'll probably be rebuilding some cylinders. You know, the one on the bucket really needs it bad, and it's also very rough. Somebody's been in there before and welded on it and stuff, and you have to have that one. You can't replace it because it's the way that it's mounted in there. You pretty well got to have that type of thing. I don't really want to change it. I like it original, so I don't want to modify it if at all possible. I would be inclined if I could find something that was exactly like this. I wouldn't mind finding two-way cylinders to replace these so that you had down pressure. But the way they're made, they have to be a specific thing. And there was a place at the Farm Machinery Show that had cylinders that looked something like that, and I'll have to look back at the video and see what that place was called. But anyway, yeah, we'll go on to something else now. Well, I'm inclined to take some corn with this. Still got oil in it. Looks like it might be making a little. Might have to investigate that this summer. It doesn't smell like diesel fuel. It's just probably was over full, but we'll monitor the situation. You like how if you just say, we'll worry about it this summer, that it's fine now? Sure. Cold start. So that is supposed to be easier on it than just giving it a shot of ether? I don't think so. Lazy man's corn hauling rig right there, but it works. Just dump it in the trough and it works great. Buddy the dog, what are you doing? Hey, you keep running away? You're excited to get to work today, huh? Sure. That's good. Yep. Always happy and full of energy, which I am not. But we're going to see how our bracketry turned out. And also, probably before we even do that, I should get the hardware that we're gonna need to put those in. I already sampled and I know what size it is, so I just gotta go over to the service truck here and get some bolts, because the other day I did in fact remember, and I got, when I was at the buy it by the pound place, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. And I still need more stuff, but yeah. So let me grab that. And I took one over there yesterday, so there should be 3 I need for one side now, 4 for the other, and then I need a lock washers. Now that might be an issue, but I think I got them in the building. All right, got our bolts and washers. And this, we got our braces over here, which seems like we got what we need. I made a boo-boo though at life. I guess we're going to talk about that for a minute because it's fresh on my mind. It's kind of humorous, but it's not really that humorous. I get probably 40 phone calls a day, and it gets ridiculous sometimes. And typically, if it keeps calling, if the same number keeps calling again and again and again, it's usually a scam. And you know what I'm saying, a number you don't recognize, and it calls you again and again and again and again, and I usually just ignore it. Well, yesterday, I bet I got 15 calls from this number, and it's not saved in my phone, so I didn't answer. And then finally I thought, enough, I'm going to answer it and tell this person what I think. So I answer the phone, and it's this foreign speaking lady, and she starts in and mispronounces my name. And usually when people do that right away, I'm like, well, I don't have time for you. But I let her talk long enough to where I heard her say she was from my bank, local name of my bank she used. And that's when I hung up. I thought, my local bank is not, there's nobody there like that. So I called the bank. And I said, hey, there's this person that says they're calling from you. And I gave them the phone number. I said, here's the phone number they're calling from. And they said, well, we don't have anybody like that. We'll look into that. Thank you. Okay. Well, a little while later, the phone calls again, and it's that lady. And I was not nice. I used a bunch of rooster sounds and etc., and then hung up the phone again. And turns out that it was actually real. It was a outsourced thing from the bank's debit card place trying to stop a fraudulent charge on my account. And after I gave her an earful, I guess she thought, to heck with this guy, we'll just railroad this right through. To which they debited a amount out of my bank account for something online that I obviously didn't buy. So I discovered this by trying to use the debit card last night at a restaurant and it being declined, and thought, what is going on here? And then looked on the online banking, and sure enough, and then all the pieces fell into place. So this morning when I called the bank, they're like, well, we'll look into that, and called me back and said, yeah, that's a fraudulent account, and that lady calling was from the debit card company. So I don't know why the other bank employee didn't remember that or tell me, because then I wouldn't have probably chewed that lady out, and I would have listened to what she had to say. So I guess don't jump to conclusions, because sometimes it may be, authentic, but I don't know why they can't just deal with this locally, why they have to have somebody from a different part of the world tell me about my bank account here. And sadly enough, I'm not very happy with the bank, because it's not like okay, this is obviously a mistake, punch a button and it's fixed. I have to fill out paperwork, and they're not going to give the money back for weeks, potentially. And I don't agree with that, so might be getting a different bank, But I don't know. It was just frustrating and almost humorous, because I probably brought it on myself by not talking to that lady. But I mean, if you're going to call somebody about their stuff, pronounce their name right, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's evil Americans, We're arrogant, and the rest of the world doesn't like us, I guess. But Anyway, that's not the side for there. Remember, this only goes one way. And it goes like that. I'm not sure how this is going to go, because I can tell you right now that there's going to be a little finagling of trying to pull stuff in line, because it looks to me like even though it's going to line up, the seat back is slightly springy. You see that? Like, it's going to take a little bit of persuasion. And it's not that the brackets are bent, it's just that that's the way it is. That kind of narrowed it in a little bit. I don't know if I really like that, but it's the way it is. We'll do a test sit here when we're done. Everything lines up good. I mean, all the holes match. That's what I'm saying. Well, there's one. Now we're going to have to climb ourselves over to the other side probably and do that other one. I'll see if I can take the long way around here. Okay. Oh, this side's going to be fun because it's right next to the hydraulic levers. And we know how that's going to go. In order to do it, I'm going to have to push the levers, which is going to make the loader do strange things, which being in the shed is probably not going to be great for it. Okay. Now we got to try to get this down in there. There we go. There we go. Little persuasion. Okay, something's not working right there. Can't see how to make them line up. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, look at that beautiful thing right there. Thank you, viewer. That's awesome. And it should last now because, yeah, wiggle in the seat a little bit, break it in. No, it's very much more solid, and it won't, I won't break it. Getting on and off is when it really needs it, because my habit of, you know, the other one was bolted solid. Every time I get on, I want to put my weight on either here or somewhere when I'm swinging over, you know, and it was only a matter of time before I would have broke that. And that might be why it was sprung out a little bit now, because I've been doing that since we put it on. But that is awesome. Just what it's supposed to have. And also proof that out there somewhere in the world is the parts you're looking for. Someone has got them on the shelf, not using them, and in this case, he thought of me and sent them, and that is pretty sweet. So another thing off our list to make this tractor more better. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, one more thing on the Sadness Express, and I don't remember what it takes to do this thing. It might be this rusty wrench that's laying here that I never picked up. Francesca, the Fiat. Sad little girl. Is not well, you know. Is this the wrench? How about that? My laziness paid off. But this starter is garbage inside. I mean, we took it apart. The armature's twisted. It just is not going to play anymore. And I ordered the new one. And yes, I know the one viewer comments he can get all the 1250 parts. And I've talked to him before. But he, last I checked, didn't have a 12 volt version of this starter. And that's what I want. I have invested much time into making this 12 volt. I'm not going backwards in progress and making it 24 volt. So maybe I'm not going to have a choice and I'm going to have to get a 24 volt starter and rig it up where I can start it with 2 batteries and then it's running off 12. I don't know. But I'm going to take this along to the starter shop when I get the welding gas. They sell welding gas and do starter and generator repair and amongst other things. But I got the starter off the 770 that didn't work this winter. And then I'm going to take this. And then if my John Deere starter comes to replace that, I'll pull it off and take it along too. But if I have this one off and ready to go, then, you know, in theory, that'll all work great for me. So we're going to take this off yet again. I don't know how many times I've had this off. It's just terrible, you know. I've never seen a starter quite as bad inside as this one is, and I don't know why. I mean, another cool thing to know would be, I really hope that sitting out here, no, it's good. I thought, wouldn't it be terrible if it was stuck now? It's not though. So maybe we have a chance of picking up where we left off last year. We should move it from this spot before the vines overtake it, but that's life, friends. You know? It's just so sad. I had it working just wonderfully. And then it decided it didn't want to play with me anymore. And sadness ensued, you know. And that's nice. Okay, is that gonna fit? See, we're using standard stuff to do metric things, and that ain't cool. But we gotta do what we gotta do. Come on. Yeah. The good news is, since we've had it off so many times, it's probably quite loose. That's what she said. Uh-huh. You have to have the offset wrench to do it. I remember that now. That's why it's been laying here all this time. Getting rusty. Forgot to put it away. Because the last time I walked away from this in frustration. This tractor really took the life out of me as far as wanting to work on tractors. It just hit at the wrong time and everything went to pieces, and I don't know. The tractor got some of the negative energy from that, I guess. Normally I like bringing back alive things that were dead, or working on something that nobody else has made work, you know. But this one kind of took the wind out of my sail there for a little bit. So hopefully we can change that. Hopefully we can change that. We need to save these nuts, because remember, metric. We don't want to have to hunt up new stuff. Oh, you know what a dumb thing I did? I forgot to take one cable off. Did you see that while I was doing that and you didn't say anything? Bunch of jerks. Here we go. I really hope he can do something with this. And if the new one ever shows up, then I'll have an extra one. But I probably lost that money too, because that wasn't cheap and I haven't heard back. Matter of fact, I might call him again just to let him know I'm still waiting. And now we got an open hole which will rust and let the motor deteriorate. So I think what I need to do one day is I'm going to bolt these two together, see if Dad will come over here and we'll pull start it just so it'll run again for a while, because it hasn't run for a good while and we need to run it. You know, maybe we can shove it in the shed in front of Freddie or something, and then we can go on once we get it where it starts again and continue where we left off, like making this all better. Fuel system, I'm pretty sure I found a boot that I think will work, and I got that ordered, and I got a whole different carburetor off the internet somebody had that looks beautiful. The bowl isn't made out of JB Weld, so we might slap that on and see if that brings her to life. And just stuff and things, friends, you know what I mean? But it will run and drive enough that a guy could put it on a trailer or something and take it to a show. But I just don't think it'll run good enough that a person could do much farm work with it, even raking hay. I think it would be a dog, because it just, the generator doesn't, or the, not generator, it's one piece, but the governor won't play ball. It just doesn't have the guts to go. So anyway, I said at the beginning I didn't know where this video would take us, much like Buddy the dog doesn't know where he's taking himself. But anyway, we'll leave this here, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.